Hey friends, happy Saturday, the 7th of September. It's nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I will share with you a reflection based on the daily readings. The readings are linked below. Click the link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. If you work regular work weeks, I hope that these days of weekend may be times of rest and recreation for you. Remember, you are not robots, you are not machines, you are created in the image and the likeness of God. And God commands us to rest, to take care of our relationships and ourselves, to not hammer all the time, but indeed to be able to know the goodness of God in our rest. Okay, we have readings from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians as well as Luke's Gospel. Paul comes back around in this passage to a theme that we've worked with a bit this week, which is rivalries and divisions in the church in Corinth. And so he challenges the church in Corinth one more time to let go of the divisions and to come back together. He accuses them, frankly, of arrogance and pride. Why are you boasting as if you did not receive it, right? It's everything that's worthwhile comes from God anyway. It's not about us. It's coming from God. That might be a useful point of prayer, right? What do we need to simply express gratitude to the Lord for today? So often gratitude is an incredible antidote to division, to jealousy, to rivalry. To be thankful for what we have here and now in this moment. And then Paul reminds them, why are you people even getting hung up about this whole apostle thing, right? Whether you belong to Apollos or to me, Paul, what does it matter? What are the apostles? We are the lowly and the scum of the earth. And this is another place where Paul's rhetorical abilities really shine forth. The apostles are the last of all, like people sentenced to death, and indeed most of them will die as criminals. We are fools on Christ's account. We are weak, but you are strong. You are held in honor, but we in disrepute, right? We're not liked. To this very hour, we go hungry and thirsty. Our clothes are poor. We're treated roughly. We wander about homeless. And we toil, working with our own hands. And then, when ridiculed, we bless. When persecuted, we endure. When slandered, we respond gently. We have become like the world's rubbish, that's garbage, the scum of all to this very moment. Paul calls them to not be puffed up with pride, but to allow themselves to be lowly. How does that resonate with you? Where's the Lord calling us to see clearly and to know who we are in God? There are times, right, that we want to be high, elect, beloved, selected, holy. And then there are other times we want to be like Jesus, who came among us to serve, poor, neglected, condemned. Where's the Lord inviting us? Where's the Lord challenging us in these sorts of flourishes of Paul? The psalm response, the Lord is near to all who call upon him. It's not about being able to solve our problems, but it is about turning to the Lord in our every need. Gospel of Luke, we have a Sabbath dispute between Jesus and some of the Pharisees. Now, it's a dispute about a particular interpretation of the law. The law is good. It says human beings need rest, and the law doesn't want just humans, but also the animals to rest, right? Don't drive people so hard. And so the law exists to keep rich people from telling their servants that they don't get days of rest, and they have to go out and labor and harvest. But then, right, like any law, you got to draw that line, and there's variations on it. And Jesus generally does not ever fall down in those ways of just seeing things black and white, observance of the law or failure to follow the law. Jesus invites the Pharisees to see that David and other ancestors chose to break the law of the Sabbath when it was wise. This is discernment, this is prudence, this is right judgment, this is wisdom. This is knowing what it is and observing it most of the time, but also having the freedom as the children of God to know when it is that we might be called to go in other ways. Where do you find yourself in that dynamic of observance of the law and freedom as the children of God? Where are you finding yourselves when it comes to the Lord's Day, days of rest, and how is that feeding you to know more fully the goodness of God? All right, enough of me. Read those readings prayerfully. Turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. If you want to, pray for folks having a hard time. Pray for peace in this world. God bless y'all.